Going on, everybody? Welcome to the Filsinger Games Character Spotlight with Mike and Brock.
I'm Mike.
I'm Brock, and tonight we're going to continue through CPC 2107 with Anarchy. Right, there he is. And Blazing Skull getting a new update. Pretty
Yeah.
cool art there from Bendis, if I say so.
Hold on, let me. Looks like I'm sitting in the dark. It's not. I got a bad sunburn, so I can't make it to my room downstairs. So I'm sitting on my floor because I can't sit with my legs even pointing down. And I'm
Been there.
watching hockey playoffs.
I've been there, unfortunately. So I know exactly what you're going through, and it is not fun at all.
Yeah, it's not just a regular sunburn. It's second degree, and it's so bad I had to go to a burn unit tomorrow. The legs are blistered and they're bandaged up from the knees to the ankles, knees to toes, actually.
Yeah. Cabbage Patch Kid feet.
Yeah.
Is the correct term, I think. The medical term.
But so tonight we're talking about Blazing Skull and Anarchy, two of the
Hmm.
bad guys from 2106. So let's start off with Blazing Skull.
Okay.
He gets his third card, if I'm correct.
I think so. Let me pull up
His,
him.
his birthday bash was the first one,
Yeah, his rookie card, I guess that was.
and then his secondary card was his new one, and now he's got this one.
And he gets even another card.
Yeah,
So yeah, here's Blazing Skull. Sorry, I'm just like looking at all his card history. And this he has the double finisher, the Burning Touch and the Death by Fire, which can get him disqualified.
I found it interesting too because he's one of the first guys that Tom gave the same finisher to. He's
Hmm.
got the same finisher as Wolf.
Okay.
It's a claw.
Yeah.
That's what the burning touch is.
But his is on fire.
Yeah, and it's less potent.
Yeah. Didn't say he was
Only a
good.
only a +2. It should be a +4
It's a
because he's
zero actually on this card.
burning. Yeah, but in his first one, it was a +2.
That's because he didn't have Death by Fire,
Yeah.
which, depending on how well he hits it, his chances of getting disqualified go up. So it goes from a +3 to a +5. If you do the +3 version, it's a disqualification of 4. If it's the +4 version, it's a disqualification of 6. If it's the +5 version, it's a
Oh,
DQ of 8.
oh,
So you have to decide how bad you want to hurt somebody.
it's an interesting finisher.
Hmm.
I like it
Yeah, I
because
mean,
he
if
can
it's a
just,
no DQ match, you can light somebody up, literally.
or if he's a champion, he just like, yeah,
Yeah, I'll keep that title by DQ. Why not?
yeah,
Or burn this guy to death.
it's gonna happen.
His Raw rating went up from a 38-39 to a 47-48, so pretty big jump in that
Okay,
department.
okay, I have to stop for a second. Now I'm watching the LA Kings Edmonton Oilers playoff game.
Hmm.
The American national anthem is being done by the Korean Harmonica Society.
Are they good?
There's no words. It's them playing harmonica, the national anthem. And everybody's looking around like, seriously?
Hmm.
I just had to stop and I'm like, this is just too weird. But okay. Didn't mean to sidetrack there, but it was just something that
That's,
just completely threw me.
it's okay.
That and the James Earl Jones singing, speaking the national anthem at the ball game.
James Earl Jones, God rest his soul.
But is he still a -3 agility or
Yep, -3 agility, +1 power. He has a 1 in his cage rating and his pin. He has a 4-1 pin. 2 downs total on his card. His charts are A ropes, B turnbuckle, A ring, and C death jumps. He's gonna get killed on the death jump chart. Um, he's got a spinning DDT 3 with a power check at the number 6 spot on level 1. So, oh, I mean, about 50% of chance of getting that if it's +1 power. Um, two straight through moves to level 3 on 2, the Brimstone Bludgeon and the Skull Head Crack. He'll keep you down. He has capability to keep you down once he gets you to three. He's got the choice D on the number one spot. Not the best, but not terrible. He's going out of the ring every time. He has no choice on it. He is a brawler though, so it makes sense. So this guy is like prime for no DQ matches. You can hit that plus five. I don't think you have to roll for it. I think you just choose which one you want to do. And there's
Yeah.
also a suspension rule. So if you do one of the bigger two, you have to roll suspension one through six on the plus four version, and the plus five version, it's a two through 12. So 1d6 or 2d6 on the suspension.
Oh, so
And
it becomes automatic.
hmm and same with the injury. It's 1d6 injury, 2d6 injury.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I mean, as a champion, you might not want to do that too much.
Or what, they're going to force you into a non-DQ specialty match?
Yeah. Well, suspension, suspension.
As long as it's not a 30-day suspension, you're good.
I mean, how many do you consider it days or fight cards? How many fight cards per week? So if you were,
Or or you can be like the WWF and just be like Roman Reigns and once every 60 days.
it's not like that anymore. It's once every 60 days or 30 days.
Or what's his name? Gunther, when he was the IC champion.
Yeah,
He's like, I'm the longest reigning IC champion. I'm like, yeah, but Honky Tonk Man still had like 75 more defenses
it's true because he was the best Intercontinental Champion of all time.
all time.
So this is his upgrade card. I don't think we need to power creep him.
No,
He starts going down after this in his raw rating.
and he's still with the Brimstonians.
Hmm. Yeah, he stays with them for most of his career. He had 1 year off where he was part of the Rocket Men's Revenge. Not with this card though.
Now, is there any part of the of a dramatic reading you can do? Because
Uh
we talked about this. I can't make it down the steps, so my book is downstairs.
I could read it. I don't know what we've already read with him, but I'll just read up until the new card, I guess.
Okay.
Blazing Skull was the vanguard of the team that became the revolting Brimstone Burning. He was a fiery tempered competitor with the cranium to match. Blazing Skull arrived in 2101 on a provisional basis and became one of the most controversial wrestlers in GWF's long history, which is quite a feat. There are many who blame him for the death of the Centurion Crossfire in a 2103 match. No official charges have ever resulted from the tragic event. Blazing Skull served as a field general for the Brimstonians, winning heavy metal special matches championships. The fiery one came close to adding the Interplanetary Championship to his resume. Blazing Skull, along with Anarchy, kicked Malif out of the team in 2112 and appointed Tortured Soul their bodyguard. The fiery competitor would not be able to escape the specter of Crossfire's death. The deceased competitor's mother, Lorelei, joined the GWF in a vendetta to make Blazing Skull pay for the tragic death. The enraged matriarch targeted the rest of the Brimstonians as well. Lorelei, along with Rocketman's Revenge, defeated the Brimstonians in 2114's sudden death feud. And that's the last for this particular card.
Okay.
So yeah, Crossfire's mom came to avenge his death. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's probably a first in GWF where your mom has to
Hey, could you imagine though?
this whole. No, I don't think she doesn't wrestle Blazing Skull.
No. I think she does wrestle though. Eventually
Yeah,
she wrestles.
yeah. She wrestles, but she doesn't wrestle Blazing Skull.
No. She leads a team to get him, I guess.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's Blazing Skull's update for 2107. I think the art's pretty cool. I like the angle,
yeah.
shooting up on the fire like that. Bendis was at least good for trying unique angles for his poses and stuff.
I do enjoy the Blazing Skull character. He's a,
Hmm.
he's a he's a great bad guy. He's a great mid-card bad guy. You can stick him in anywhere.
Hmm.
He's going to be competitive for the
Right.
most part. You might pick up, the odd victory, but especially with this card now, you would have to be careful because, he could literally just blow up and take you down.
Right. Right.
So it'll be fun using him.
Yeah, he's got a significant upgrade, so he's going to be
What's his raw rating on this one?
uh 40. I just saw where'd it go?
Oh,
47, 48. So 47 in singles matches, 48 in tag matches. So slightly better in tag matches.
that's enough to capture some gold.
Oh yeah. Definitely special matches without question.
If I don't know too many people who still use special matches. I think that kind of went out the out
Yeah,
the
I don't even know if it's a recognized title anymore in the current GWF.
yeah. I don't think
Someone
anybody really uses it.
somebody who's current will have to let us know
It kind of died out with the death of ECW.
that. Yeah, it was a fun title though. I thought about doing one in my bootleg fed, but it's hard sometimes to run special matches on stream because you have so many extra things you have to keep track of.
Yeah,
So it makes it tough.
yeah. I ran a heavy metal title for a while, and I just couldn't get into it. And it was because you get the same group of guys going for it. It was always like Mayhem, Blazing Skull,
Yeah.
Wolf.
Hmm.
Those guys kind of bouncing around.
Kevin Weibel had a good idea for his hardcore division. They had to have a DQ rating of at least 6.
Yeah, that would make sense.
That was his qualification to get into it, which I thought was kind of cool. Like, how do you pick? So that was his criteria.
No, no, that does make some sense. Kind of like that idea.
Hmm.
But since we don't use any power creep secondary cards,
Hmm.
and this is his second, so we'll slide on over to Anarchy. Now, I really like this card. We've
I
all
like the
seen
art.
we've all seen this pose before. It's the bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you pose, but
He looks like
Anarchy.
an X-Men villain to me.
Yeah. Oh, he's definitely a comic book villain, but it's
Hmm.
Bendis, so
Right. Yeah, I think this is one of his better pieces.
he's got the '80s hair, big hair villain.
Yeah. Which is such a thing in the 90s in comic books.
Yeah, yeah. '80s and '90s, all the villains had big hair.
They did. So this is Anarchy. I guess I'll start with a dramatic reading since this is his debut. I'll try and hold it over my face while I read. This fearsome brawler from the Brimstone Burning team has struck terror into the hearts of nearly everyone who's faced him. He lives up to his name by not caring whether or not he wins a match as long as the opponent is punished by the time it's over. When disqualified, Anarchy has been known to injure his opponent after the bell by applying his crucifix drop finisher outside the ring, causing him numerous suspensions. A specialist in hardcore matches, including the Total Anarchy match he introduced, Anarchy has won 2 interplanetary titles and 2 special matches titles while fighting whomever the Centaurians and, later, Bloody Revenge and Rocketman's Revenge have thrown at him. He was the first to openly mention the possible coming of the great evil and was proven correct in 2115 when Godsend and the Fourth Realm entered the GWF. So that's all for this card. So he prophesized the coming of Godsend, who is the current big bad in Mythworlds, I think.
And what is his raw rating?
He is
He's capturing some gold.
a 33 singles, 37 tag. He does get an eventual update in 7 years, so he gets even better. So,
So you think he's less powerful than Blazing Skull,
hmm,
but he's captured more gold. So you think people gave him shots because he looks cool?
probably. He's got a pretty tough card, though. I don't understand the raw rating thing, but he has like his level 2 offense has 3 straight. through level 3 moves, 4 through 6. Um, he has an agility check on 1, but other than that, like his level 2 is he's cutting through. He doesn't have a lot of reversals on his card, but he has 3 dazed on level 2 defense. He's got 1 down total on his card, and it has the leave option. His charts are C ropes, B turnbuckle, A ring, A death jump.
Yeah, that ropes is deadly.
Hmm.
C ropes is one of the worst you can. As a guy who does stats and odds, C ropes is one of the worst things you can give a guy because there's ropes are always going to appear on every chart, on
Hmm.
every card, sometimes twice.
Yeah, the ropes chart
Through
comes up a
A
lot.
and ropes.
And then
And then
agility +1, -2 power. And
you
then it
got a
has
double
the
finisher.
this what's that?
You got a double finisher.
Nope, just one. Crucifix drop +3 with a DQ
Oh,
4.
okay.
If he's ever disqualified, he does attack people after the match and do the crucifix drop outside the ring with an injury of 1 through 6, and also that carries a suspension of 1 through 6 as well. So, and his DQ rating is 7, so he's getting disqualified a lot.
Hey, but for me, he's one of I think that the cooler looking guys, and he does have that coolness it factor,
He
which is
does.
probably one of the reasons why he got a push from people.
Hmm.
Kind of the same way Lance Atlas got a big push from people.
Yeah, it's just somebody new and fresh that looked cool.
Yeah, he's new. He's got that neat, with Lance Atlas, it was that rugged look.
Hmm.
Had that '80s hairband going on with the scruff. This guy's got the 1990s metal look
He
that
does.
was so popular.
Yeah.
If the art was a little more spiky, this is a Rob Liefeld villain.
Yeah. Well, he's got the Colossus medal that was
Yeah.
very, very overdone by Liefeld on his neck and then his shoulder there. Colossus medal, I call that.
So yeah, he's Brimstonian. So yeah, he's gonna get some use out of me for him. I'm a big fan of the Brimstonians.
You know, I like them because they're not overdone. There's only been a handful of them, and they're all pretty unique, so they haven't gotten stale.
It's because I think in that world you can literally do and have them look anyway. Like you look at the females, Hunger and Serpentine.
Right.
They're demon-looking characters. You have Melf as their manager at this point in time,
Hmm.
who's basically a giant demon with wings. You have Death's Head, Blazing Skull, Anarchy. Trying to remember. I think they probably
Erebus,
Erebus. Yeah.
which is just a big demon.
So yeah, they're getting pretty big.
And then you got Turge, which is just like a goblin.
Yeah, we're not there
Or
yet.
more of an orc, maybe. But, but
Gonna happen. But yeah, like I said, I'm looking forward to this because I think I'm gonna make a big push with the Brimstonians. They're gonna take over the heel lead in my secondary Fed, my NGA,
hmm
and I might have them later on try to sneak up to level 1.
Well, there you go. I think they'll be able to. They'll be able to hang, especially with these upgrades.
Yeah,
There's a
so
lot of Brimstonians in the GWFZ,
yeah.
I've noticed, but
Well, because it's one of those things where you're like, oh, there's a lot of.
there's a lot
It's
you
a
can
world
do.
where you could literally do anything. It's kind of like the Ant-Man, why there's so
Right.
many.
Hmm.
It's you have a lot you can do with these guys
Right.
and girls. Sorry, but
There's a lot of them are girls too.
I've made a Brimstonian. Uh,
Hmm.
this is going back. 20 something years ago, I made Brodich
I remember him.
on one of my sets. And what I did with him was, now, for me, it was a tribute to Frank Goddich, Bruiser Brody.
hmm
So I just combined their last names, Brodich.
hmm
I called him the intelligent monster. And his whole gimmick was he was fascinated by BBC television. And so he gave all his interviews with a fake British accent.
That's funny.
So that's just a little fun I had with a bad guy, but you see a big and he's got the big horns and he looks like a demon, but I have
hmm
him talk with a posh British accent.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, but that's one thing I like about the Brimstonians is it's one of the few probably worlds you could literally do anything you
Right,
want.
right. There's no
The
rules.
character, and he's Brimstonian.
hmm
Do whatever you want.
Don't know where to put this guy. Brimstonian.
Yeah,
I don't know if I've ever done a Brimstonian now that I think about it. I don't think I have.
you've done 5 ducks and no Brimstonians.
hmm True.
So how would you power creep Mr. Anarchy?
Um,
I know what I'd be doing.
the
I'd be
ropes, right?
making that ropes at least a B.
I would give him a non-disqualification finisher so he can compete in normal matches too.
Okay.
I'd make the Brimstone Bludgeon a zero finisher. That might put him over the top, but yeah, I'll give him double finisher.
Okay.
He's already pretty good.
Yeah.
He's definitely like a high mid card guy. Without the DQ stuff, I mean, he'd be a main event guy, I think.
Yeah. But even with a 6 DQ, it doesn't bother me so much, especially it suits him for a bad guy. Oh, he got
Right,
DQ'd.
right,
Oh,
right.
got DQ'd. It
So the
because
DQ rating
there's
always bothered me because I thought like guys who like get away with stuff should have a low DQ rating. You know what I mean? Like,
well that's one thing. There's two rules of thinking. So if you
hmm
have somebody like okay, Anarchy, he's a
he
six.
doesn't care. He said in his when he arrived, he doesn't care if he wins or loses. He just wants to
Yeah.
hurt people.
But when he gets a title, there's a thing where it's like why Ric Flair was a champion for so long and so many times because there's more money in the chase.
hmm What
Now, on
DQ
the
rating would you give Ric Flair?
Rick,
Because he always
I,
got away with it too. When
yeah, that's the other thing
the
is you give him a low DQ so he can get away, but maybe give him maybe give him a 5 or a 6,
hmm
but you make his manager like a 4
Okay, so you could.
because his manager, James A. Dillon, always managed to pull off
hmm
the cheat to get him to win. So you still give Ric Flair a 5,
Yeah.
but you give JJ a 4. That way he gets away with everything. And that makes it even more frustrating because they're getting away with it.
Right. Yeah, that's always like whenever I'm putting a card together, like a bootleg or something, like I want this guy to cheat, but I want him to get away with it.
Yeah,
So it's tough. Like where do what do you want him to be? This like anarchy, or calculated?
yeah. He's basically him and Splatter would be a wicked tag team.
hmm Yeah.
But as what we said, our Mount Rushmore, because we're having a masked wrestler, who would
hmm
be your top 4 plus your honorable mention masked GWF wrestlers?
Okay. Do you want me to go first?
Okay, you can go first.
We just mentioned one, Splatter. Splatter is just a fun character to me. I like that he wears all white and then he gets the blood all over him and stuff like that. It's kind of fun. He's definitely one of my favorite mask guys. He's one of my favorite guys all around. I'll go Splatter. I'm gonna go Enigma, just because his mask was so cool looking. From Enigma, I'm gonna go basic, simple mask, but it looks cool. The Executioner from the original set. I like just the hood, the Executioner's hood. And that was three, so I need one more. I'm gonna put the Demons of Hydra together as a team, as one.
That's what I was getting there.
It's because they just the whole switch mechanic and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I mean, that's mask guys right there. So that's why they'll count as one because they're the same mask.
Yeah.
And then for my honorable mention, I'm gonna go with Death Mask. Not Death Knight, but when he became Death Mask
Yeah.
because he loaded it.
So for me, my guys would be Pit Viper.
That's a good one.
I always liked the Pit Viper. I had a lot of fun with Pit Viper. Um, Number two, yeah, I'd definitely be using um the Demons of Hydra. They are one of my favorite tag teams.
Hmm.
I really enjoyed using them. I would follow that up with Death Mask as well.
Okay. We duplicated two.
I know. And so I did Pit Viper, Demons of Hydra, Death Mask. I'm going to follow up with Executioner
All right.
because he was one of my favorite wrestlers.
Uh-huh.
It was
And
such a I was such a big fan of his.
he has such a
Um,
cool look too. It's so
yeah,
simple, but it just works.
and for me, what I did, he captured my TV title, and he never wore it. He just put it over his shoulder, and he wore it to the ring like that. But every time I had him, roll out of the ring, and he goes, "Oh, he hit somebody, with a foreign object or something like that." I made him beat him with the belt.
Hmm.
So by the end, his belt was all broken and twisted because he just kept beating people with it. He didn't care about the belt.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go with want to say I'm going to go Darkos.
Okay.
I had a lot of fun with him as a wrestler, but even more as a manager
Hmm. He was a
because
fun manager.
he's a manager that's also wearing a mask.
Hmm. Very theatrical.
Yeah, like I thought about using comedy and tragedy,
They're good ones, yeah.
but I've been using them for a while, and I'm just they're just for me.
Hmm.
They just didn't have that something I could get behind with
Yeah.
them. That's why they're still stuck in my UWA. They're a good team, but I've just never really got behind them.
Hmm.
The Demons of Hydra, they're the killer bees,
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. And I have fun with them. And they have one of the more interesting storylines because everybody thought they were Genghis Khan and Mitsuko for the
Yeah.
longest time.
Uh-huh.
And then Tom just threw that whole storyline away on like a little blurb at the end of one of the books.
They just left.
Yeah, they were caught hopping on an airplane or a jet transport or something like that.
They got sent back in time.
Same
That's
time, you're
funny.
like, oh,
Yeah, I enjoyed that little like at least he tied it up. He didn't leave it as a loose end.
it was kind of funny that way. But yeah, they would be. I know we probably upset Pete Beck because we didn't Death Mask. Death Knight never made our
But Death Mask did.
yeah, because Death Mask was cool.
Hmm.
Now how the mask, I never said he pressed a button and it became hard as a rock and he didn't have those big spikes. I always
Uh-huh.
saw the big spiky helmet he took off. It was
Okay.
like the big. I always pictured it as like the big Van Vader thing. He
Yeah.
took it off
Yeah.
and he wore a mask and he would just adjust a plate under the head.
Like Chad Gable's doing. I'm sorry, El Grande Americano is doing right
Yeah.
now. Nice.
So that was my whole thing. But we can tie this up here.
Alrighty, thanks for watching, everybody. If you haven't done so, please hit that subscribe button below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. While you're here, scroll on down to the description. You'll find all of our friends who make Filsinger Games related content, including the official Filsinger Games podcast, Roll Up, it's back. Dizzy Dice from Lee Lamprey, the Legends team's Uncharted Territory, solo promoter from Grant Pachoco. Grant is also here on YouTube, along with Dave Little's Heartland Championship Wrestling. After further review, Brad Plays 81 and Bucky 749, doing Champions of the Galaxy related content. I'm on Twitch. I'm doing 1 day a week for right now as I ease back into things for my bootleg fed, Next Dimension Wrestling. If you want to check those cards out, links to those are below as well. And yeah, leave a comment. Tell us who your favorite masked guys are and your favorite Brimstonians.
That'll work.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Right all.
Later.